Hi guys, didn't realize the thing has recorded. Welcome to my fourth and final video. This is where I would like to show you how to I guess experiment with this technique called the overlay texture. This is where you can bring an actual image of, let's say, a metal texture or what else? Brick. I don't know why you want to bring brick in, but any sort of texture, fabric, cotton, anything on top of your colored layers while preserving the colors but maintaining that textural look. I think you will understand more once I show you. So first thing I would like to do is to go to Google. Yes, we use Google a lot. And I start typing in bronze copper, which is the look that I want for Satara. I think with the amount of red, warm color that she has, it'll be nice to have a golden sort of reflective quality to her armor. Now keep in mind, she's not done. I should have actually added tones to her first before doing this step. You have to finish everything in all the previous 3 videos in order for you to be able to move on to this stage. Okay, so make sure you've done everything. All the coloring and the toning finished. So once I found something that I like, which is this one, I would just right click and save image as, and save it somewhere safe so you know where to get it from. And I would simply open it. And I will open it and choose that color. I've just been labeling it bronze, so I'll just open. And as soon as you click open, if your default settings set on to Photoshop, it'll just open in Photoshop like this. We want to bring this into our Satara file. So the quickest way I think to do this is to drag this. See how you can click on this and it gives you the different options. We'll just drag this out. So it's a separate thing like this. And we will select the mover button. If you remember the shortcut, it's V. And we will drag this. So it's the layer. Forget about the layer. We can drag, simply drag this guy onto Satara. So open Satara in the background. And this should work. Or not, because it's locked. Yep. So just drag it. And you can close that because you're done with that. As you can see, I've brought her in here, but we don't want this because it's actually covering everything else. It would be saved. So this is called layer 7. I'm just going to rename it to make sure I know what this is. So I'm going to call it bronze. Enter. And just watch what I'm doing. It's quite important. Once you brought this image here, you want to change this layer to overlay. But before we do that, understand that overlay layer only works if the background color is white. Right now we have a beigey brown color, so we should change that. So going to the background layer right at the bottom, right here, we will move to white, pick a paint bucket and just simply color it white. And I'll show you what it can do. Now we're changing back to the bronze layer and changing it to multiply. Where are you? Multiply? Overlay. Overlay right here. It might be too subtle for you to see in that layer, but see how it actually, this is how smart it is. It recognizes that you have colors and then you have flat background, so it will only texture the colored bits, if you get what I mean. Gives a nice old look to some of these. Now I have to pick and choose again because this hasn't been toned properly. It looks too red and jarring, but once it's toned, it'll be a lot nicer and I can play around with a lot more things. Now of course you don't want to make everything this texture. Maybe you do, but most of you would want to choose. So to do that, just simply place it where you want it to be. Let's say I want this to texture just her armor. Then I can erase with my eraser button right here. I can just simply erase the bits that I don't want. So I think I would need skin texture for that, so I don't want texture. So I'm erasing away the bits that I don't want while preserving the textures. And you have to do this if you want to also preserve the background color. If you don't want a white, and white is very stark, and I must admit it's not as nice. See what happens. See how you can see that? Then you will have to, and if you can find a shortcut for this to do it other way, then please tell me, because I'm not sure. I do not know how to do this a different way other than erasing it completely. So hard flat brush would work best. So you're carving in the texture that you want. And if you think that it's too strong, then you can always reduce the opacity to make the texture not as strong. You can use multiple textures on different areas to really achieve the look that you want. Whew, English. So I hope that has been helpful, and that you might think it's a bit of a neat trick to help improve your drawing. People use this all the time, so don't think of this as a cheat sheet. A lot of the examples that I showed you in class last week, they all use that. They use it in a more selective way, of course. They don't just layer it over everything. They might choose just one area, for example this spot, and they erase everything else and then blend it with a soft brush just so that that little tiny bit shows a bit of a metal texture. So there's really a lot you can do, but please don't think of it as a shortcut, because professional artists use that as well. Alright, so thanks guys, and I hope you have enjoyed this project, and they'll be handed in on time, which is next week in class right after lunch. So next week during class right after lunch, which is week 7. And also, actually, before I forget, there is a third part in case you don't remember. This is only part B, all the drawings. A third part that you have to do, oh sorry about that. The third part that you have to do is, where is it? It's called part C, and it is in the email I've sent to you. It's called Self-Assessment Concept Art, this one, part C. And it only has 4 questions. Let's just wait while it loads. It looks like this. Only 4 questions. And you have to finish this again by next week, lunchtime, week 7. So don't think that you can rush things in class. I want you to come to class actually finished, so that you can spend half a day just writing this, because this will be worth something if you look at the marking sheet criteria. I really do want you to put quite a thought into writing this part C. Alright guys, thank you and good luck. Ask me anything in class if you need any help.